Suzi Quatro was born Susan K. Quatro on June 3, 1950 in Detroit, Michigan, a city deeply rooted in musical innovation. From an early age, music surrounded her daily life, shaping both her confidence and creative instincts. Her father, Art Quatro, was a musician, and the Quatro household pulsed with rhythm, rehearsals, and performances. This environment didn't just expose Suzi to music, it normalized it as a way of life. She absorbed sound and structure instinctively, developing a sharp musical ear long before formal training mattered. Unlike many young girls of her generation, Suzi was encouraged to experiment, to be loud, and to take up space musically. That early freedom planted the seeds for a career built on independence, discipline, and fearless self-expression that would later challenge the conventions of rock music. The pleasure seekers and breaking early barriers. By her teenage years, Suzi was already pushing boundaries. Alongside her sisters, she formed an all-female garage rock band called the Pleasure Seekers, a rarity in the early 1960s music scene. At a time when women were largely expected to sing rather than play instruments, Suzi took on the bass guitar and lead vocals with unapologetic confidence. The band gained regional attention, proving that female musicians could deliver raw, energetic rock without compromise. More importantly, Suzi learned the realities of performing, touring, and holding her own in male-dominated venues. These formative years taught her resilience and self-reliance, qualities that would define her professional life. The Pleasure Seekers were not just a youthful experiment. They were a rehearsal for a revolution Suzi would later lead on an international scale. A life-changing discovery and a bold move abroad. Suzi Quatro's life shifted dramatically in the early 1970s when she was discovered by British producer Mickie Most. He recognized something rare in her, a performer who could command a stage while playing her own instrument with authority. At his encouragement, Suzi made the bold decision to relocate to the United Kingdom, leaving behind familiarity for opportunity. While American audiences were still hesitant to fully embrace women in hard rock, the UK music scene proved far more receptive. The move was risky, but it allowed Suzi to step into a market ready for innovation. That leap of faith would soon pay off, positioning her as a trailblazer rather than a novelty. It marked the beginning of a career that would reshape expectations for women in rock music worldwide. Can the Can? And A Star Is Born. In 1973, Suzi Quatro exploded onto the charts with Can the Can, a hard-driving rock anthem that shot to #1 in the UK and sold millions globally. The song's success was immediate and undeniable, announcing Suzi as a commanding new voice in rock music. On stage, she paired pounding bass lines with fierce vocals, wrapped in a leather jumpsuit that became iconic. This wasn't image for image's sake. It reflected her refusal to soften herself to fit industry norms. Can the Can wasn't just a hit single, it was a statement of intent. Suzi wasn't passing through, she was here to stay. The song opened doors internationally and established her as a serious musician, not a fleeting trend, at a time when few women were given that respect. A new voice on the radio. Later in her career, Suzi found a new way to share her love of music through radio broadcasting. On BBC Radio 2, she hosted shows such as Rocking with Suzi Q and Wake Up Little Suzi, bringing her experience and enthusiasm directly to listeners. These programs weren't just playlists, they were conversations shaped by decades of first-hand stories from the industry. Suzi's warmth, humor, and deep knowledge of rock history made her a natural broadcaster. Listeners appreciated her honesty and passion, hearing familiar songs through the lens of someone who lived the era. Radio allowed her to connect without a stage, proving once again that her influence extended beyond performance. It was another chapter in a career defined by reinvention and genuine engagement, family, balance, and personal resilience. Behind the public success, Suzi Quatro's personal life carried its own challenges and milestones. She married guitarist Len Tuckey in 1976, and together they built both a family and a professional partnership. Raising two children while maintaining an international career required discipline and sacrifice. After their divorce in 1992, Suzi focused on providing stability for her family, remaining in their Essex home to maintain continuity. Later, she remarried German concert promoter Rainer Haas, whose understanding of the music industry brought balance and support. Throughout these changes, Suzi remained grounded in family values. Her ability to navigate personal transitions while sustaining her career reflects resilience, emotional intelligence, and a commitment to growth beyond the spotlight, a life lived across borders. Suzi Quatro's life has always reflected her international career. Dividing her time between Essex, Hamburg, and occasionally Detroit, she maintained strong connections to each place. England represented her breakthrough and professional evolution, Germany offered cultural richness and family ties, and Detroit remained her emotional foundation. This global lifestyle mirrored her music's reach, resonating with audiences across continents. Rather than belonging to one scene or identity, Suzi embraced them all. Her adaptability allowed her to remain relevant while staying true to her roots. These geographic shifts weren't escapes. They were extensions of a life built on movement, creativity, and connection. Even today, her story reflects the spirit of a woman whose journey has never been confined by borders or expectations. The story behind Stumblin' In. Among Suzi Quatro's many career highlights, her 1978 duet, Stumblin' In with Chris Norman, holds a special place. Produced by Mike Chapman, the collaboration paired two distinct voices in a way neither expected to become iconic. The song climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, resonating with listeners through its sincerity and emotional nuance. For Suzi, the experience was marked by ease and mutual respect. She has often described Chris Norman as a gracious collaborator with no ego, making the creative process natural and enjoyable. Their voices complemented each other effortlessly, creating a timeless quality that continues to connect with audiences decades later. The song remains a testament to what happens when artistry meets genuine collaboration, respect, friendship, and musical chemistry. Over the years, fans speculated about the nature of Suzi Quatro and Chris Norman's connection. With clarity and honesty, Suzi has consistently emphasized that their bond was rooted in friendship and professional respect. Both were married at the time, and their collaboration was built on shared musical values rather than personal drama. That mutual understanding allowed them to create something lasting without complication. Even today, they remain on friendly terms, reconnecting occasionally for interviews or celebrations tied to the song's legacy. Suzi speaks of Chris with warmth and gratitude, valuing the ease and trust they shared. Their story stands as a reminder that meaningful artistic partnerships don't require scandal to be powerful. Sometimes, respect is the strongest foundation of all. Reflecting at 75 with pride and perspective, at 75, Suzi Quatro looks back on her journey with pride and perspective. She is celebrated for her leather jumpsuits, commanding bass lines, and fearless presence. But she also embraces the softer moments that shaped her career. Stumblin' In represents one of those moments, a reminder that vulnerability can coexist with strength. Suzi remains active, creative, and deeply connected to her audience, continuing to inspire new generations. Her legacy is not frozen in the past. It's alive in every woman who picks up an instrument and refuses to step aside. Reflecting on her collaboration with Chris Norman, she calls it a gift, one that added depth to her story. And after 5 decades in music, Suzi Quatro's voice, spirit, and influence remain unmistakably her own.